welcome to another episode of the Obsessed with Pickleball podcast. This is actually going to be the season finale. I'm going to take a few weeks off to plan the next season and catch up on the rest of my life because this is really hard and takes a lot of time. And I'll be back better than ever. My goal originally for the podcast was 10 episodes, and I'm doing 23. So I think that's something to be proud of. Now, for my final episode, I have my sister, Bridget, which is only fitting for multiple reasons. One, she's who I first started watching pickleball with. And two, we actually went to Columbus for the MLP tournament there. And Bridget,
Yeah.
this question. Do you think Columbus won because we went to their event?
1,000%.
Right. Like
There's not a doubt in my mind.
No doubt. And like, again, like not to make it about me, but it's a
But
weird
what if it
event. But what if it is? Why did we go to Columbus? So random, but we did. And then they won. So amazing.
And like when we went, they were like very much mid.
They were exactly. And then it all turned around after we were there.
And then once we came to town, CJ was a little under the weather, but like they really had to like focus up and they're like, okay, we got it.
I will say, I think CJ being sick for that event, because it was their home event, the cat is eating my microphone because it was the home event and they had so many matches to play that weekend, really changed their seating and our perceptions of them. Like, I think in the beginning of the season, oh my God. There's a literal demon. She's a demon. Get away. Okay. In the beginning of the season, I saw the Sliders as like a really good team. And
Yeah.
I always put them like top 6 for sure, in sometimes 4, but they had mixed results. And I think it's because of that weekend. And then as they continued to get better, by that time, everybody was talking about the Flash and the Shock. And then they started talking about the Mad Drops. And so, yeah, it's obviously like an amazing story that the Sliders won the championship, but I don't think it's like surprising that they were that good. I just think nobody was expecting it.
Yeah. And I mean, as you said, like it's actually not that surprising that Columbus won. They have the talent, but they were gaining speed and momentum at the perfect time of the season.
Yeah, like when they
Whereas
beat
the Shock were just always there. They didn't really necessarily have anything to like look up to. And the Flash like was the highest, the top, and then they were kind of trickling down. I think people figured out how to beat them. And you kind of lose like that fire sometimes when you're at the top and then like you have to stay there. There's a lot of pressure. And the Sliders just had so much more to fight for, and they had so much momentum going into it. And so I think that helped. I mean,
think
obviously.
you like have like a trickle of like grass. It's like Dallas peaked mid-season with that tournament, and then we started to go down. Some of their weaknesses became clear. The Shock were always up, but then like extra up, and they were also selling their brand as like always winning, right? Like they were just so good. So I think everybody was like, oh, the Shock, they're unbeatable. They're so well-rounded. And then when the Mad Drops acquired Ben Johns, everyone was talking about that. So Columbus kind of flew under the radar, even though they had a huge win against the Flash. So we kind of all should have just been like, this team is definitely beatable. When the Flash chose them, I kind of thought that Sliders were going to win. I'm not surprised that the Sliders beat the Flash. The Flash had a huge man problem with J-Dub and Augie and a huge Dream Breaker problem. But then down, I actually think Tyra and Augie beating CJ and Leia so easily both times was surprising to me. So if J-Dub and Georgia just could have gotten their shit together, then maybe they would have won both of those in 3.
I don't think the Flash had a dream breaker problem at all.
They have weaker dream breaker teams than a lot of the teams in the top.
I
J-Dub
mean,
dream breakers, Augie's not good at singles. Georgia and Tyra are great at singles, but they don't have any of the top. They don't have Anna Lee, Kate Fahey, Paris Todd. Those are the top 3 women's singles players. They don't have that.
so I mean, they won 3 dream breakers, lost 2. The Shock won 3, lost 1. The Fives were 3 and 3. They're obviously not the Mad Drops who went 7 and
Bucks. Who did they lose their dream breakers to?
I don't know. I can't really see like head to head.
I just
But I
think
mean,
going into the finals, I was like, the Flash are weaker in dream breakers than other teams. But
well, they're not as good as Mad Drops, obviously, when you have like a whole team of Hunter Johnson, Catherine,
right.
you know.
Even though the Mad Drops lost to the Fives in a dream breaker. So let's talk
Mad
about
Drops were 7 and 2 in dream breakers. They're pretty good.
so yeah, but we don't know who they beat in the dream breakers. So it's kind of moot. It's more like how many dream breakers they get to. When you see how many dream breakers, like the fact that they got to that many dream breakers was a sign of their team being kind of weaker. And obviously, if you're being Hunter, you're going to win those dream breakers. But they got to more dream breakers than other teams. Okay, so Columbus gets chosen by the Flash first. Everyone is in shock.
But I mean, you're in shock, yes, but if you're following, the Flash has always said that they're going to play the best teams.
Right, but is that
They're
stupid?
not going to put their best team, and they're not going to put their best mix against their worst, against like the other, like they're not going to put their A against their B. They're always going to go A, B, B. They're going to take the best teams. They want the best game. Like they want to win straight up. So, I mean, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. But I think they did it for the competition of it.
Right, but it's the playoff. Like, you're going to get there. I don't think there's a way to, like, I tried to justify the strategy. And I actually
Yeah.
do think there's a way to make their decision right. Like, the ranchers were having weird vibes. And
It's not a strategy, but they've always said they want to play the best and they want to beat the best. It was
okay,
a stupid if you're talking strategy, it was a bad strategy. But that's what the Flash, like that's their MO. That's the way they want to do it.
I think there's a difference between going AABB and choosing a really good team to be your first match in the playoffs.
But no, I mean, I as a Flash fan, I'm not happy about it. And they just came off, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Prior to this, the Sliders beat the Flash. So the Flash wanted a rematch.
That's crazy.
I don't take it. Yeah, obviously. But I will say the Flash did the best out of all. I mean, well, not the Fives, I guess.
So,
Yeah, actually, they did the best out of all the teams because they
so,
took them to 3 Dream Breakers.
so let's talk about that. So, San Diego, Flash choose the Sliders. Match 1 goes to Dreambreaker, Flash win. Augie gets a bunch of points. Tyra gets a ton of points on Leia. That was the difference maker. Next.
And Georgia took them from Paris.
Yeah, but that wasn't as surprise. It wasn't as Tyra took like all the points off of Leia. Obviously, J-Dub and Tyra also took points. That's
Well, Tyra's a better singles player than Georgia,
what I don't understand. Tyra's
in
not
my
a
opinion.
better than Georgia. That's why Georgia goes first, and Georgia was playing Paris.
I mean, that's my opinion. Georgia, I mean, yeah, well,
Okay, so second match, but I don't know what the relevance of that comment is.
like, and Leia is a really good.
I'm saying like Tyra taking points off of Leia is really helpful because Leia is a singles player and Tyra's not.
Georgia's not a singles player.
I'm not saying she just didn't take as many points off of Paris as in that.
She did.
Tyra
In the
took,
first one?
Tyra took like 8 points off of Leia. Georgia took points, wasn't as it wasn't as crazy. And Georgia does play singles sometimes. Okay, second
Tyra
match.
has a gold medal in singles.
Who? 3 years?
Tyra. I mean, when is the last time Georgia medaled in singles?
APP Tour, baby.
3 years ago.
I'm just saying, Tyra doesn't play. Georgia's just played.
Tyra is Georgia.
She just played singles on the PPA 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, to try to get ready for MLP.
Okay, second.
And
Are we-
Paris is the number 2 singles player, or number, 3.
Are we arguing about if Georgia or Tyra is a better singles player?
Gene, I don't know. You started the argument.
Okay, so then we're going to the second match the next, and it's the same lineup, same results. This time, the Sliders beat the Flash really badly in the Dream Breaker. Leia gets more points. Andre plays out of his mind. Okay, we go into the third match. So the women lose. Georgia is off on this match. She was not feeling well. The women lose, and Georgia just is off. Like, she can't hit anything over the net. Like, it's crazy. Then we go into it, and the men lose, of course, because J-Dub and Augie are a big issue. And then Tyra and
Andre and CJ are really good.
yeah. Augie and Tyra beat CJ and Leia, which is interesting because Augie and Tyra just have such amazing chemistry. Like, CJ was eating Augie up in the men's, and then Augie and Tyra ate them up. It doesn't matter. And then Georgia and J-Dub come out and beat Andre and Paris. And I would argue that Georgia and J-Dub, the number 2 doubles team in the world, should have probably beat Andre and Paris at one of those other 2 matches. That's the difference maker that takes them to the championship.
Well, I don't want to gloss over these things, speed through them too much, because when you say that Augie and Tyra are really good together, I think it's just because Tyra is a stronger left side player than Leia. Because you're going to have CJ and Augie and then Tyra and Leia. So I think Tyra's a better left side player than Leia, a stronger player there. And it's not necessarily that Augie and Tyra are unbeatable, but Tyra's such a good alpha that
well, no, I didn't
Leia didn't really stand a chance there. What's that?
I didn't say they were unbeatable. I just think Tyra and Augie do play incredibly well together, and they were able to beat Leia and CJ so it seemed pretty easily.
And then on the women's, Georgia got stuck on the left. Remember that?
On purpose.
Yeah, it was real. They were very out of sorts. Maybe they're trying something new, see whatever sticks, but it was just very off. Yeah.
Right. Ladies, now is not the time.
Game 3, come on. Yeah. It was stressful.
Yeah. And we were there in person, screaming our faces off.
Near tears the whole time.
The whole time. And we can talk about the experience in San Diego at the end, because that was insane. And honestly, made me not want to go to pickleball tournaments anymore. My lips after were so sunburned. I was like, what is the purpose of this? My couch is so comfy.
I was so tired.
Crazy.
I don't understand how these people played all weekend. I was just sitting there cheering all weekend, and I'm exhausted.
Well, they were drinking water and electrolytes, and we were drinking margaritas.
Copy.
That'll do it.
Nope, that'll do it.
So then the Sliders move on. And then on the other side of the bracket, we have the Fives beating the Ranchers. What do you think about Caitlin Christian as an addition to the Ranchers?
Look at her trajectory versus this, someone like Kate Fahey, who kind of started the same way as a really good singles player, and then she's learning the doubles game. Kate, has gotten a lot better in her doubles play. So to your point, I think that what the Ranchers needed, they needed somebody in singles, and given the options that they had available to them, she was probably a good pick. In the long run, I don't see her being a starter for any team.
Ooh, that's a strong take. I do think doubles is improving, but now that you bring Kate Fahey up, it's actually kind of interesting to think about. Is Kate Fahey's partnership with Anna Bright at MLP, playing with her? Like, do you think that has helped her grow her doubles in, like, a quicker trajectory? Because if you look at partners are the hardest thing to find in pickleball. Like, that's the hardest thing to level up is how you
Mhm.
partner. So Kate Fahey gets to be Anna Bright's partner, who's so good and so experienced. That's probably given
Yeah.
her a boost.
Like, is she a good mixed player, or is she a good, I mean, not mixed player. Is she a good doubles player, or is she good at playing doubles with Anna Bright?
Her and Tina had good results. I think Kate is a good doubles player. I think she's getting better all the time. I guess my question isn't, is she obviously playing with Anna makes her look better, but does playing with Anna actually help make her better? Like if Caitlin got to partner with somebody and they were playing the best and she was so good and so helpful, like would that help her improve faster?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like, yes, Anna's a good player, but there's also something to be said about playing with the same person for a
Yeah.
year. You
Yeah.
practice with them. You every match you're playing with them, that's you're going to have a very strong partnership. And they get along well. So, like, personally, you
Totally.
see people who I think that's a huge part of it too.
Yeah.
So,
I just know that if I was
yes.
a woman coming into the scene,
Mhm.
I would want to follow in the footsteps of Rachel Rohrabacher and Kate Fahey. Now, is Anna good at finding the talent, training,
Mhm.
or both? Probably both. So speaking of Anna,
Mm.
the sliders then face the shock. Now, I was not surprised that the sliders beat the flash. Um, and I
Well,
know if also
also, we didn't even talk about game 3, Jane, with the
I did.
with the yeah, but and the and the points,
Okay, yeah. So in
you're really
three,
skipping around all of the, like, the biggest moments of my life, I think.
so
Like, ones that altered my brain chemistry.
in game three, we go to the Dream Breaker. And there's a moment when the sliders call a ball out and the Flash are not going to challenge it. And Tyra's like, no, 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 challenge. And they challenge it and it is in. And it was so iconic. And everyone was freaking out. And that changed the momentum to over to the Flash. Then,
And it was Tyra. Tyra was sitting her like, she's an unbothered queen. She was sitting there on the bench and she goes, "You have to challenge." She won the challenge. Nobody else saw it. So people were cheering, "Tyra, Tyra, Tyra." We're like, "Oh my God, she's like, that's the best call I've ever seen. We're gonna win this game. Like, let's go." It was such a good eye that nobody else on the entire bench or in the entire stadium caught.
no, it was amazing. And
Yeah.
then things start to go downhill.
It's very close. It's neck and neck.
Neck and neck. Then there's a ball that Georgia misses. And she's like, oh, was that out? I should challenge. Like she misses her third. And she's like, oh, was that return out? Should I challenge it? And it's very confusing and like wish-washy. And she's like, challenge. And then the ref, some dude, was like, oh, George is challenging the out call. And George is like, no, 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 no. I'm challenging the in call. Not that my shot was in, but whether or not their shot was in. And nobody steps up to help Georgia. And the guy keeps saying it. She's running over to them while they're doing the review. And she's like, I'm not challenging that. I'm not challenging that. I'm challenging this. Can I challenge this? And they basically ignore her. I mean,
They're
we
like,
could.
"You already said this." And she goes, "No, that's not what I meant." Yeah.
So then that obviously is not overturned because her ball was so out. So now they lost that challenge. Fast forward, there's another ball, and Tyra's like, we should challenge it. And I think like everyone was going to listen to her because she had that really good challenge, but it was like very much not a good challenge. And nobody stepped in and said, you don't have any more free challenges. So they lost that last challenge, and that not only they give the ball back, but they lost a point too. So the momentum was in the Flash's hands. Weird thing happens with Georgia. Then they lose another challenge and they have to give the sliders another point. People are glossing over this weirdness. Like, somebody on the Flash needed to step up and, like, I don't want to say that it was Julie, who's my queen, but Julie needed to get in there and, like, be like, guys, we're not challenging this.
It was a little kind of like unstructured. It
So,
just felt like kind of nobody knew what was going on.
yeah,
But just that's what I'm saying. Like vibes were just off.
vibes were really, really off that day.
And like that was after J-Dub, I think, took 2 off Andre. And so they were going to challenge whether or not J-Dub's ball was in. And so he was like, it was 8 and 10. So it would have been like 9 and 10 or something. And J-Dub would have had the ball back. I mean, had it been in, but it was out. But
Yeah,
instead, they give it not only to that, it was like 9. No, so then it was, so what was it? It was 8 and 9, 8 to 9. And then, so they lost the point because it was out. So now it's 8-10. And then
so
they
then
get
11 instead of 8-10, and
they
we
get
lost.
penalized 8-11. And now, so it's 11-8. Columbus gets the side switch and Andre gets the ball back. And it also takes a rally away from J-Dub, who was hot in that one. So it was a huge momentum stifler.
A couple blunders by the Flash.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so then Columbus takes it, and it's like huge victory, and everyone makes fun of the Flash, and I had to unfollow the sliders, and I had to not go
Immediately.
the entire day because everyone was making fun of the Flash, and that's unacceptable for me.
I couldn't even look at the sliders. Like, we just stormed out. I was near tears. Like, I hated everything about them.
I hated them so much, but
Unfollow. Like, whenever I open my Instagram, there's Andre's stupid face and Paris being like, they didn't want it. And I'm like, I wanted it so bad, Paris. You have no idea how bad I wanted this. Like, speak for yourself.
and Andre, who I love, that I've literally been saying is the best men's doubles player in all of pickleball for like 2 years, I was like, I hate you. Don't look at
Because
me.
he also talked so much shit on the sidelines.
Yeah.
He literally said, I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but he was like, during a timeout, I think it was their game 2, when it was him and CJ like coming back on Augie and J-Dub. He's like, let's go. These guys are fucking pussies. And I'm like, don't talk about my Flash like that. Like anybody else but J-Dub and Augie, like, come on. But then I forgave it.
The good news is not that many people listen to this, so I don't think I'm going to get censored. So I think we're okay.
That's amazing news. But like, I want him to say that like Christian Alshon and Eric Onsens are pussies.
And what's also
Like, don't come for J-Dub like that.
there was an MLP where I think Andre and Georgia were partners, if I'm remembering correctly. So he should
I
watch.
think about that every day. Who were they? They were in it was when they were in, was it Atlanta? They were in like the yellow uniforms.
No, I can't remember.
It wasn't Florida Smash because that was with
Travis and Kyle.
where she was
David.
no, it was Travis and Jesse and Colin.
Well, that was a
Or was
different.
that a different season?
She played with Travis twice. Okay.
No, yeah, she was
He
she
was
was held under her will. I mean, against her will.
I mean, technically, yes. Right? They don't have any say where they go. So technically, they're all against their will.
Well, she got drafted first, and then who gets drafted second? Travis. Like, just in case anybody came in and swept him up.
Yeah, just in case. Okay, so then, great. Columbus wins. Flash go home. Very sad. Next, we have Flash against the Shock. And what's shocking about this is how easily the Sliders seem to win. First day, they win 3-0. Second day, they go to a Dream Breaker and like beat them pretty
It's not
bad.
even close. So, like, let's talk about this because you see the Sliders come in, they beat the Flash like barely. And you see how well the Sliders are playing. And the Shock decides to pick the Sliders. and I told you this. I was like, I feel like the shock has always been like they think that their rival is the Flash, and the Flash is like, I don't have a rival because I've already won twice. Like I won the title and we won the mid-year thing. Like I don't need to have a rival. But like the shock is always like, so they saw the Sliders beat the Flash, and they were probably like, that's so embarrassing. We're gonna pick the Sliders. Like, haha, I can't believe how bad you're playing to the
Wait,
Flash.
that is such a juicy hot take. So what you're saying is that the reason why they chose the Sliders it was to take it to the Flash to show like who the top dog is.
I think so.
That's crazy.
Why wouldn't you pick the Mad Drops?
People are scared of Ben Johns, and like I was
For what reason? What has he done in MLP to make you even a little bit intimidated?
also, what has he done in PPA to make you intimidated these days? He plays with Anna Lee and he plays with Gabe. And before he was playing with Gabe, when he was with Colin, he couldn't win. So he's with Hunter, who's not a step up from Colin in doubles. So it's like, I understand not wanting to choose Ben. I was kind of like, okay, I'm not going to bet against Ben. I'm going Mad Drops, but I was going Mad Drops because I'm a Mad Drops fan. But at this point, we all need to stop being stupid and just like see it for what it is that they should have chose the Mad Drops. The women have a good chance of beating Catherine and Jade. That's an even matchup.
1,000%.
Andre and CJ beat the men. And CJ and Leia could beat Hunter and Jade. Hunter and Jade can be sneaky good, but I would give that to Leia and CJ. And then Catherine and Ben do not play well together.
No, they don't.
They don't. Like, I get Andre and Paris may not want to play Catherine and Ben because that's a pretty even rivalry. I mean, even matchup on paper, but I guess they were scared. Like, wait, I'm talking about the Sliders and the Mad Drops. I'm supposed to be talking about the Shock. Hold on. Women, Shock women, big opportunity to beat the Mad Drops women.
They could so easily beat the Mad Drops women.
Hayden and Gabe could beat Ben and
Hunter. Easy.
Gabe has beaten Ben a billion times. Then Anna and then Gabe and Kate against Jade and Hunter is a win for Gabe and Kate. It's
no matter how you look at it, they were gonna beat the Mad Drops. So it's like, this is what I'm saying. So they either it had to be their egos against the Flash.
I think that's a bold take, and I'll accept it and I'll process it and I like it. But
what's the other reasoning that they would ever choose the Sliders instead of the Mad Drops?
Ben Johns. I think they were banking on Ben playing better than Andre, but Andre played better than Ben has ever played in MLP in the last 2 years.
I like it.
No, I mean, Bridget, like, we'll never know.
Are we on, like, are we on the same planet? Like, I just don't get it.
Well, that's their choice, not mine. So,
like, information, data, history does not point to them losing to the Mad Drops.
But
anyway, because remember they played
in so late. Is that nobody knows? Like, he came in
played. They played them 2 weeks ago.
I know, but then the whole idea of the Mad Drops is that now Ben's activated. Now they're getting to know each other. Blah blah blah.
What? Activated you?
I didn't make the choice.
Since activation.
I'm saying that might be what they were thinking. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why. I didn't choose it. I don't know why they chose it. Okay. So
I know why they chose it.
Okay, copy.
They wanted to embarrass the Flash, and jokes on them. They couldn't even go to game 3.
Hey.
They only got to 1 Dreamworker.
We hear you.
We got it.
Oh,
I don't like the shock.
I know, you're not a fan. Okay, so then we come up to the iconic showdown between the fives and the sliders, and I'm just gonna, like, breeze through really quickly because there's something very important to be said about it. Match 1, we have the women losing to Annalie and Megan, who are, like, on fire, like, holy schmoly. I'm like, I'd like to see them against they could probably win gold on the PPA tour. Like, I don't see like, that's how good they're playing together. Then the men lose to Andre and CJ because Noe and Will, even though Jim Claw says that Will Howells is better than Ben Johns and he's top 10, I don't see Annalie and Ben Johns losing to Andre and Paris 3 times in a row, but that's just me. Then um Noe and Megan beat Leia and CJ, and I think Noe's playing out of his mind. He's playing really, really well. I think Noe is better than Will. If he's not better than Will right now, he'll be better than Will next year. Then I see,
Okay.
and then we have Andre and Paris beating Annalie and Will. It's not like it's not that it's not close. It's just like we don't think about it. Dreambreaker comes up. Will goes 4-0 on Andre, and that kind of sets the tone for the whole thing. Then it's like going back and forth. But Paris is taking a lot of points off of Annalie, even in that first Dream Breaker, which is very promising for them. And I want to say that there was a time when uh, I was watching I was watching Paris beating Annalie in that all white outfit she was wearing. And it instantly took me back to the iconic moment where Paris beat Annalie in her like first singles tournament, one of her first, when it was 3 out of 5. Uh, which was, like, so crazy, and Ryan Sherry was, like, carrying the umbrella over her head, and I really
Mhm.
wanted the sliders to win that one so I could tweet, like, "We remember the last time that Paris took down Annalie in that outfit," but then they just came up short. Fives are buzzing. They're so excited. Annalie says, "Okay, but this is what happened last year, so we have to finish it tomorrow," but they're looking good. Next day
Yeah.
so then the next day, same results, but we need to talk about the most important moment of the entire MLP season. And I have so much to say.
Flipping a table.
It was like I was so mad, I didn't know what to do with myself. So, game 3. They've split so far, men and women. CJ and Leia are down to Noe and um Megan. This is a game that the sliders really want to win for 2 reasons. 1, they don't want to go to another Dream Breaker, okay? Because the Mad Drops are a really good Dream Breaker team. And
The fives.
the sliders didn't play badly in the Dream Breaker last night, and they
You
still
said the Mad Drops.
the fives are a really good Dream Breaker team, so they don't want to go against them again.
And they just lost in a Dream Breaker.
Just lost, and they played well and they lost, so it's not like they were like, "Oh, we played badly, whatever." So then,
And they really wanna win this game because everybody's talking, especially Dave Fleming, that, like, it was a fluke that Annalie and Will lost to Paris and Andre, and they don't think it'll happen again. So it's
right.
like they're saying Leia and CJ have to win because Annalie isn't gonna lose again.
So that's what I was gonna say. The second reason is why is like you don't want to put it in Annalie's hands. So CJ and Leia are down to Noe and Megan. It's not looking good. I think they're down like
A lot.
9-4, maybe 10-4. So they're coming back.
It wasn't at 10.
I think
Yeah.
it was 9-4. They're coming back. They're coming back. They're coming back. They get up. They tie at 10-10. They have the ball. Someone serves, whatever, they play the point. Ball goes by. Leia calls it out. Instant.
10-10-2. Yeah.
It's like they're about to go up 11-10-2. Okay. So it's 10-10-2. They show the challenge, and I'm like jumping up and down because like the ball is so clearly out.
The
And
announcers are like, "Out, out," like, I'm telling you, it goes over the line. Like, they didn't even have to look at it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, that's out. So what are we gonna do now? 11-10-2, like, moving on."
and then Anisha comes up and she's like, the call is overturned. I beamed. Everybody was freaking out. Even Dave Fleming was like, "Whoa, what? That's not a good call. What?"
Mish literally was like, "What?" Like, the immediate reaction, they're like, "That doesn't make any sense. I can't believe that."
It was okay.
Crazy.
So here's my thoughts on it. 1, I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, like showing the ball's trajectory in the AI, and that's fine. It's missing a frame. It's the ball was out, but obviously if somebody came back and they're like, "Oh, we have a better image of it and it's in," I won't be like floored. But based on what we could see, it's definitely out. But the reason everyone freaked out and the reason why no one believes it is because this is a pattern. Like, it's not like out of nowhere and it doesn't exist in a vacuum that Annalie would get a crazy call. Like, we're used to seeing Annalie and Ben get special treatment over and over again. You can see it from Ben being able to be traded to the Madroffs like a week late. Annalie complains about things and gets balls her way. Like, we are so quick to question the
She
motivation.
doesn't have to get her paddle tested.
We're so quick to question the motivations, and it's because it's not coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, agree.
I think that's important context for people to understand when everyone's
It's a
on
yeah,
Twitter.
it's a pattern. It's not a one-off, it's a pattern.
Like, if it had been the other way, I don't think people would have freaked out as much because it's like the refs would not do anything to help Leia and CJ. But
Never. Yeah.
another thing, Annalie's brand is very important to the PPA, especially now more than ever, which I can't believe I'm saying because it's always important, but like the SBs and all that stuff. And the one thing she doesn't have is an MLP championship. And giving her an MLP championship in Central Park right now would be monumental. Gary V's in the house. Like, it's important. Overturn the call. Ball goes to Noah and Megan. They win. Then Andre and Paris beat Will and Annalie again. Not difficult. Will is not, he's just not playing as well as the other number one men on these teams. Goes back
And
to
Paris and Andre, I'm telling you, like, I feel like Will's catching a lot of heat on this, but like they were playing very well.
100.
Paris was locked in. And now that didn't they say that Andre like now lives in Florida with his family or something? And they're like practicing together all the time?
I don't know, but you're right. Paris was
You
locked.
can tell that their partnership has grown so strong. And they would have beaten anybody.
Okay,
Paris and Andre. Yeah.
I think it was
But I
just
think that's important to note. Yeah.
like, I agree. George and J-Dub beat them. I think George and J-Dub could have beat them, but George and J-Dub were the second best team, so it doesn't even count. But
Right.
I just didn't see, like, you have Annalie as your partner, and I don't feel that they're even getting pressure because you're right. Andre was playing out of his mind, and so was Paris. You're right. We're going to the Dream Breaker right away. Andre goes 4-0 on Will, and that sets the tone because
Yep.
last one I think Will went like 3-1 on him or 4-0. CJ Noe do well. Then Paris comes out and goes 4-0 on Annalie.
Insane.
Might have been 3-1.
I think it was 3-1, right?
Okay, 3-1. I think got that last point. I was like, wow. So ultimately, the Sliders take that Dream Breaker like pretty, not easily, but it's not like it's close at the end. They win that Dream Breaker solid.
So, sorry, go ahead. So I want to go back to this call because, like, if you think about the momentum shift, like, well, they lost, obviously. I mean, the Sliders lost that game. But then had Andre and Paris lost, it would have been like such a controversial finish. You wouldn't have gotten a game 3, which is kind of like, I feel like MLP always wants a game 3 and a Dream Breaker. You wouldn't have gotten a game 3, and also nobody would have accepted it. So, and then you're seeing, not necessarily like in the game, but in the Dream Breaker, Annalie's like missing serves. She's missing returns. What does that have to do with the momentum shift? And like, do you think the players were aware of this? Like, I don't know, like what goes, like, it's also such a mental game. Like they're making like mental mistakes. Like missing a serve is a mental mistake.
I think that we saw the same thing happen, which I was going to get to at the end, that this is like word for word the same thing that happened with the Flash. I don't think Annalie cares about that call at all. I think she got tight and she didn't play as well as she usually plays. I mean, it's just that. I mean, Paris was so solid, but yeah, making mental mistakes like miss serves. Like I think Paris outplayed her in those points, but I think missing serves is a mental mistake. That is just because she was tight or she was nervous or she just missed. Um, but yeah, I think you're saying like they wanted game 3. I think MLP would have preferred for Annalie
This one.
to win that match on hers, yeah. So then we go into the third
I don't
game.
know. They got a lot of backlash, at least on Twitter or X or whatever.
No, I mean with that call, no, they're happy that
Yeah.
that didn't end it. But I'm saying like I don't think this time around they wanted a 3-gamer. I think they wanted Annalie and Will to finish it
To win.
off.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for everybody that it worked out. So then they go in the next one and actually I think fuels Leia and CJ. So
Yeah,
if
that's what I mean.
the
Yeah.
Sliders had won that 3-0, 3-1, and we go in the next one, maybe the fives would be like, shit, we got to step it up. But instead, CJ and Leia, same split between the men and the women. CJ
Mhm.
lose to CJ and Leia beat Noe and Megan, which is
Mhm.
massive, massive. They
Yeah.
so well. Leia's so locked in. Uh,
Mhm.
there was this one moment where they're so locked. Leia smiles, and I was like, "It's over for you, bitches," because she
It's
does
over.
smiling. You're fucked. Like
If she's like,
she doesn't
no, if she's
smile a
doing
lot. She's pretty
anything
intense.
besides like beating herself up with her paddle, you're fucked.
Yeah, like the smile. I was like, "It's done." Then
And like she cleans her sleeves, like game over. Game over.
so then Andre and Paris come in and finish it off. Paris finishes off with like the sickest backhand drive down the line against Will. It's crazy.
Okay.
And the Sliders win. And the exact same thing happens that did the tournament before. The fives win last year. The fives win the first one and lose the next 2. Crazy. So the Sliders are the champs.
With Annalie on the court.
I know. It's rough. Um, I do think it's really interesting that she's never won a title, even when there were one-off events. Now that I'm thinking about it, like it's hard to win the regular season title in the MLP current format because there's only one the whole year. But there used to be like 6 events you could win.
Mhm.
Anyway, we'll see what happens next year with that. So everyone freaks out, and let's just regroup to Leia for a second.
I'm
So
freaking out. I have chills everywhere. I literally texted you. I was like, why am I crying right now? Like, I had my hand over my mouth because Paris is crying. Like, they fought so hard for this. And honestly, good for them.
okay, so Leia, I didn't know this, but someone said it like recently on Twitter that Leia will like go on Twitter and just like blow people's spot up and then leave Twitter and then come back.
I know. That's my favorite part about her.
Saying on Twitter right now. She is
Wait,
going
right now?
like all day yesterday today. She has been going and commenting on
Stop it.
people's tweets. Like honestly, I'm afraid for her to listen to this. Um because she doesn't like it when anyone um like says anything. So I'll give you an example.
Wait, you're talking about Leia, right?
I'm talking about Leia Jansen. So
Okay, good.
I want to give you some examples of what she said.
No,
So
she's so crazy.
so
I love this. Wait, which one are you looking at?
says, "This is crazy. I'm a professional, so I know what I'm talking about. Every non-professional, stop acting like you know a lot behind your keyboards. Let's go slider." So Ash PB says, "Fives take it locked in." Leia says, "I wish for my biased, uneducated pigeons to be true, but they're never accurate." Like,
Wait.
like she just says some crazy stuff that it doesn't make sense.
Wait, I just found a really good one.
Okay, tell me.
Zane tweeted, who's the my captain of the fives. He tweeted, "Congrats to the Sliders. They faced the top 3 teams in the league and beat them all. Well-deserved title. Andre is one of the best competitors in all of sports. CJ, the Slim Reaper, has ice in his veins. Leia came up big when it mattered most. Paris brought fire to their squad." Leia Jansen responded, "In Leia we trust."
I know, I saw that. Then she said to someone, "Because you don't understand athletics or process, I'm confused why you have a platform." So here's the thing. I think that Leia's joking on Twitter, and I'm going to say that, but she does have this vendetta against people having opinions on social media that aren't pros.
She's very reactive. Yeah.
But if they're saying the sliders are amazing, she's gonna say, "You're so right." But if they're saying, like, the sliders can't win, she's like, "You're uneducated, you know what we're talking about."
She literally just said, "In Leia we trust."
So, what I wanna say, what I think a lot of people said that she
It's
does
that's no, I'm sorry. That's iconic.
no, I think that half of her stuff I think that 75% of what she says on Twitter is iconic, and 25% is a little bit problematic, and I'm just gonna say this as somebody who posts on Twitter and has opinions and has a podcast that hardly anyone listens to, but I just, like, spew my thoughts on players. Aren't you happy people are talking about pickleball? Like, this is how you're gonna continue to get money. Like, people I don't think anyone should be making comments about her diabetes. I agree with her, she wrote something about that. I don't think anyone should be making personal jabs at players. I don't really think we should be talking about people's, like, personalities, even though I do say some stuff about Annalie that maybe I shouldn't, but some of her behavior I find to be unsportsmanship and bratty, but okay. But, like,
Agree.
just because somebody Ash said, like, "Has Annalie ever played better?" And Leia was basically like, "STFU, she's the GOAT." But, like, that's not what she was saying. She wasn't saying that she's not the GOAT. She's saying Annalie didn't play well. So there has to be
Right.
this line.
She's very reactive. Yeah. She's reactive and defensive.
Like, you need
And
to be happy that people care.
I completely agree.
So, couple questions. The fives. Zane, captain extraordinaire on the bench. Fives don't win. I said this wait, I don't wanna talk about him being the captain because we don't need to get
Can I
into it.
just say one thing about that?
Sure.
I'd like to see the stats on the number of challenges he won. How many of his challenges were successful? And don't give me like, oh, we challenged this because we needed a timeout and we didn't have a timeout. Like, I don't want it.
That's funny. So here's my questions about that I've always had about Zayn taking this captainship over. 1, do the subs get part of the money when they win the prize? And 2, did he work out something with Ryan Harwood? So here's my thing. If I'm picking up Noe, I'm obviously giving a lot of money for him if I'm sending them like our sub. So here's what I'm thinking the fives were thinking here. They'll take Noe, put Zayn on the bench because now they can drop Zayn. Whereas if they had traded Zayn away, they'd have to drop Will, Annalie, or Megan. So then you think, okay, well, they can drop Will, but Will's so cheap, they're not going to drop Will. If anything, they pick someone else up and then they bench Will, which I think they should think about doing.
You can drop your bench?
As long as it's one of the original 4 people that you draft.
Oh. Yeah, they can drop Zayn.
So my question is, I want to know the truth of all this because it's like, did he want to stay on the team because, like, it's cool? Did he want to stay on the team for the prize money? Or was Ryan always going to keep him on the team because he wants to have him there to drop later?
I mean, I think that he chose to stay. I think he was given all the options. I think he chose to stay. Because if you're like a GM and a coach and you are bringing somebody on to sit one of your starters, like you need to have the decency to give them an opportunity to play in the league.
So
like if Zayn really wanted to get out there and play, he could have. But I don't think that's what he wants to do.
No, that's what Zayn said. So that's like what we're under the impression of what happened. I guess I've just been thinking a lot of the reasons why Zayn chose to do that.
He's close with the fives. He's the team captain. He was the captain before he got benched. And he kind of is in it. And I mean, to his point, like now he doesn't have to play and he can still travel with the team. He can still be the captain. He can still be part of a winning team. Because what's he going to do? Go play with Miami? I don't know.
I agree with that. And I think I think even if the fives lost a lot of money, it's smart for them because they can drop Zayn next season. But here's my question. The fives lose in the finals. I said it on a couple podcasts ago, where I was like, I know that Noe might be better than Zayn and have a better upside. But Zayn has won like 4 MLP titles. Do you put Zayn in with his ability to win. And at first I was like, no, Noe's playing really well, but they lost. So should they have played Zayn?
No.
Couldn't have gone worse.
That's like saying, I mean, and I love Irina, but Irina for so many years was like the MLP GOAT. Like she pulled it out so many times. So it's like, are you going to say you should have played Irina instead of?
No, the difference is when they were still the 3 seed when they had Zayn. Like Zayn was still playing well.
But now people are saying Zayn should have played for Will, which is crazy. People jump ship so easily. Yeah.
I'm not saying that Noe isn't the better choice. I just think it's an interesting thing to think about is what could have been if they put crazy Zayn in and see like how he could fuck shit up. It's just
Because
interesting.
I think when him and Will played together, they're both just like weird, crafty little people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, Dave Fleming kept harping on the fact that like, and insinuating that there's tension between Will and Noe for who's playing on the left.
That was also so weird. Like pick a
And
lane,
he kept saying it. Yeah.
pick a lane. And did you think like Will having to play the right, which I've literally never seen him do, affected his ability to play doubles with Anna Lee? Like was he like passive? I mean, that was weird that they wouldn't just put Will on the left.
It is weird because remember when Noe was in Miami? Didn't Jay play the left? Or I think they played straight up. So it's not like Noe's never been on the right side.
I think Jay played on the right. Who
But I
knows?
think I'm almost positive they played straight up.
Who knows?
Yeah.
This year we're gonna have a bunch of different teams. I mean, the fives might look exactly the same. Andrew C. Mari wasn't at the tournament, but whatever. Fives will look the same. I'm assuming the shop need to drop Gabe. Now, I don't want to get into like all the drops because we're going to talk about that later, but I do want to talk about one thing, and that's the future of the Flash. And listen to something that I came up with chatting with someone on Instagram, Lindsay. The Flash have to drop Tyra.
Lindsay Newman?
No,
Oh, shoot.
have to drop Tyra. Okay, like I want them to drop Jada, but we know that's not going to happen. I think dropping Tyra is a mistake, but let's just be honest, that's what's going to happen. Okay, it's devastating unless they find a way. Now they could drop Tyra and pick her back up like they did last season with Augie. That's
Nobody wants Augie the way that they want Tyra.
okay.
Tyra is Jane.
Everyone would be so no, Bridget. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen.
Manassi said in the pickleball in that little pickleball thing that he does with Cam in their little booth, like this sports center, whatever. They were like, who is the most valuable player in the MLP? Who is like the X factor? They obviously said ALW, Anna Bright. I forget who else. But Manassi comes out and he goes, Hurricane Tyra Black.
No, it's the 4 women: Anna, Annalie, Georgia, Tyra. Everyone's saying that.
Someone said a boy. But like
Hayden, maybe.
and it was just so I was like, let's go. It was such a hot take.
It's not a hot take. I've been saying it constantly. I literally made multiple videos, and everyone agrees that Tyra is the X factor. This is not a hot take. Don't give
The
Matt
best player in MLP.
They didn't.
She's not even close in the stats.
They didn't say the best player in NMLP. They said the most valuable, and she is the most valuable. And let me explain why. Because she's.
I mean, I love her.
Woman.
I agree. Yeah.
She's the most valuable because she's on the B team of mixed. She's that good, and she's the B team. So that's why she's most valuable. You always have to think of things in draft order. Like with the fives versus the sliders. Andre's their number 1 pick. He should win. Annalie should. The problem that the Flash came into is that J-Dub needed to win as the number 1 seed, and he lost all his games until the end. So anyway, can I get to what I was saying? Because this is a hypothetical. If they have to drop Tyra, okay, and they can't afford to pick her up, or somebody pays a ton of money, or they don't want to pick her up. Let's say they instead say, we're going to take Millie. Okay? Now they save some money, because here's the problem: is they need a new guy. Okay? Because they're going to have to buy a new guy. Who do you think they pick up? Who do you think they pick up after they get Millie to create the best team?
Fed?
No. J-Dub, George, and Millie, and Bridget.
Dilly?
Dilly.
Dilly?
Julie talked.
Jane, stop. I'm going to cry. Could you imagine a reunion?
I just like Julie, if you're listening to this podcast, which I'm sure you are, I would like you to keep Tyra first and foremost. But if you can't, I would like you to consider a J-Dub. What does a J-Dub Dylan men's doubles team look like? What does
Gold.
a Millie Georgia women's doubles team look like?
TBD.
But reunion of the
We
JJ.
have two right side baddies. That's the only issue. But Georgia could be a left side lady. I don't know. She's
Okay,
been itching to play on the left.
totally.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd bring
Wait,
because I thought.
stop. So, but then what are the squeeze going to do? We can't take both of them. Should we just pay them a bunch of money to take all their players?
I think the squeeze would. The squeeze. Here's the issue: the squeeze can't. It's never gonna work out because Millie can't be the person the squeeze drop. So it'd have to go through a lot of other phases.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's interesting to start thinking about what's going to happen with everyone. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the Shock has to drop Gabe. I would not be surprised if the Mad Drops didn't pay a shit ton of money to pick up Gabe. They just sold their entire franchise for $13 million under the
You don't
gun.
think the Shock's going to drop Kate?
They can't. They dropped her last year.
Oh.
Same with
Yeah,
Augie.
they're going to drop Gabe.
So I think they drop Gabe. And unless they want to pay a lot of money to get him back, which they might, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mad Drops paid so much money for Gabe because they spent a lot of money on Ben. They sold their franchise. Josh Allen is one of their owners, and you know that he's shady. Lamar would never.
It's like, how do you pull out an MVP with like half the stats of another quarterback in the league?
But also, how do you get so lucky that Mark Andrews misses that catch? Like, you're welcome.
And I'm not ready.
Yeah, we're not ready.
We just had to rehash the flash loss.
We
And I
can't.
said when we left, I was like, this is almost as bad as when the Ravens lost.
Oh, neither here nor there. The point is, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't want to get too in the weeds because we've been talking for a while. But what are your favorite moments of MLP? I know what my two are. Have you thought about yours? I'll go first. My two are Annalie attacking Hayden's bench and Lee trying to say that the Shock coach pushed Annalie, which is farce, because that was iconic. And my second choice is when Tammy and Martin Emmerich won a mixed doubles match after.
Oh, that's a good one. Also in Columbus, when we were at Columbus. Do you think us? Jane.
And do you have any last moment that you remember that you want to just share before we sign the season?
And like, I feel like we're skipping through a lot because I didn't even get to say that like we have to refollow the Sliders.
Oh yeah, after the Sliders,
number one Sliders fans.
We became biggest Sliders fans in the world. One, if there's a farce, we're going to be your fan. So we already were your fan because you were having mad good vibes, and like I've always been an Andre fan. But then you got farced by the ref, so like we're all in.
Like we're here, we're dialing in,
and I love Columbus. Okay, one more thing about that too, where they had the Columbus tournament, Pickle and Chill, was actually the site of one of the OG pickleball
MLP
events when the top PPA players still weren't allowed to play. So like iconic. So Columbus winning is iconic.
That is pretty iconic. So to take it back, like some of my favorite moments of the MLP season, one, I want to say like week 1, game 1, when the Flames won. They won like...
I forgot about the Flames.
I missed when they were winning. And those were the good old days.
Another iconic moment.
Is that mean?
When Catherine beat Annalie, and then Annalie said, I was going too easy on Catherine. Anytime that Annalie said something so out of pocket and no one says anything, those are my favorite moments.
PPA. That was PPA, Jane.
No, it wasn't. Jade and
Oh
Catherine.
my God, I forgot about that.
Crazy. Okay. Great episode. Thanks for chatting. We will get back on here when we talk about the drops, which is going to be so fun. Another amazing season of Major League Pickleball. Everyone was saying after that you will never have this kind of excitement at PPA. And I have been saying it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We will never have this kind of excitement at a PPA tournament. And this is why you can do whatever you want to bring MLP down to save PPA's legitimacy. But weekends like this, why it's not going anywhere.
And last weekend, yeah.
You want to say PPA is like the main thing and MLP second? You can keep saying that, but like the cream always rises to the top. And I can't wait for the next season. Thank you for coming on, Bridget.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'll talk to you like later today, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And guys, follow me on Instagram. I'm obsessed with pickleball. On TikTok, obsessed with pickleball pod. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends about it. This is the season finale. I can't wait to bring some awesome new stuff to the second season. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one in season 2.